project can sustain? Is it going to give you some profits, or is it you are going to be in the lose side or the winning side? Okay. Okay. Now let me bring you to a very important question. Okay, which is cheaper in the long run? Okay, that is my question, which we will deliberate during the lecture. Okay, I give you a scenario. Having $1 today is more valuable. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't start with this one first. Okay, I give you one scenario. Let's say I am a philanthropist. I'm a philanthropist. Presumably, okay, presumably, which is not true. Presumably, I am a millionaire, and I want to give one person in this class 10,000 ringgit. Okay, I want to give you 10,000 ringgit. Let's say I want to give to Miss Mifzal. Okay, I want to give 10,000 ringgit, and I ask Mifzal, okay, now you want to take this money right now or in the future? Let's say after 1 year. Okay, Mifzal, what would be your answer? You want to take it now or you want to take it after 1 year?
Take it after 1 year, sir.
After 1 year. Okay. Someone want to give another answer or same answer but different reasoning?
Take now.
Okay, Adriana, you said take now. Okay, Adriana,
because the value will the value akan turun if I take in the
yes,
future.
exactly. You actually outsmart me. You actually outsmart me. Okay, that's very true. Okay, now Mifzal, you are in the losing side. Adriana is in the winning side. Okay, Adriana is more intelligent. She take the money 10,000 ringgit right now. Why? Because as Adriana mentioned, after 1 year, the value of money will decrease. Okay, that is the first thing. Why decrease? Because of inflation. Inflation happens anywhere. Okay, anywhere. Just how important is the inflation is. Okay, some countries they have very significant inflation. Okay, some countries even goes bankrupt because of inflation. Okay, our country is still stable, but inflation happens every day, and it continues. Due to inflation, the value of money now decrease. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing, why we should take the money now? Because if we take the money now, okay, you have, of course, you have another option, whether you want to spend it right now or you want to invest. Okay, intelligent person would do what he or she would do. He or she will invest the money in a bank, in a stock, for example, or anywhere, or in a company, for example. Once you invest the money, then the money will grow. If let's say the compounding effect is 8%, 10,000 ringgit that you invest right now, after 1 year, in your bank account, you would get 10,000 ringgit, 800. Okay, the next consequence year, another 800, another 800, another 800. Okay, that is compounding effect. Okay, but for this example, I give you the scenario of flat rate benefit. Okay, flat rate benefit. There are two types of interest. The first interest is flat interest. Second interest is compounding interest. Okay, I will elaborate more after this. So this is what I mentioned over here. Alamak. Okay, the problem with this slide is I need to. Okay. Having $1 today is more valuable than having $1 a year or 10 years in the future. The principle that $1 today is more valuable than $1 in a year in the future is called time value of money. Okay, because money have as the time goes by, the value of money will decrease. That is the concept of time value of money, TVM. Okay. Okay, the time value of money can be explained through the earning power of money. Okay, earning power of money, it depends on the benefits lah. Like I mentioned just now, if the benefit is 8%, if you invest in a company or in a bank or in stocks, So every year you will get the return of 8%. 8% of your principal. Okay. Again, the term principal I will also explain just a few slides later. Okay. Having the $1 today allows interest or income to be earned over the next year or 10 years. Having money sooner allows more interest or economics deal with a central problem. Actually this one tersangkut. Economics deal with central problem faced by all individual and all society. The problem of scarcity. Scarcity is something which is very rare. Income to be earned, thus sooner is more valuable. The problem of scarcity means that every time we take an economic decision, for example, how much to consume or for a firm, how much to produce of a given good, we face some constraint that affect our decision. Okay, I will talk about a decision later on. Okay, economics. Okay, this is general in general context. I'm not talking just for the engineering economics, but this definition is in general context. Economics is the study of choices in the face of scarcity of resources. Okay, in our case, the resources is the money. Okay, the study of choices. So what should we do? Should we invest? Shouldn't we invest? Or if let's say you have several projects, okay, let's say you have 4 projects, you need to evaluate for each project which project will give you the most profit. Okay, this is also a skill that you need to learn, especially when you become a project leader or project manager or whatever, where your position requires you to make decision, okay, in terms of monetary. Okay, scarcity, the excess of human need over what can actually be produced. Okay, hold on. Okay, in engineering economics, there are 4 principles. Okay, this principle you need to know, but you don't need to memorize. No need to memorize because I'm not going to ask you what is principle 1, what is principle 2, what is principle 3, or principle 4. Okay, because all these 4 principles actually make sense. It makes total sense, and even your common logic would say it would pronounce it the same. Okay. Okay, let's say principle number 1. A nearby dollar is worth more than a distance dollar. Okay, again, there is a typo over here. Okay, let me there's typo over here. This typo stays for years and years. I hope this year I can redo this slide lah. Okay. A fundamental concept in engineering economics is that money has time value associated with it. Okay, the terms time value. Okay, value of money is different from time to time. Okay, if you are investing in a place where inflation is significant, and you invest in a place where inflation is less significant, even with the same duration, okay, the value of the money will be different. Because you can earn interest on money received today, it is better to receive money earlier than later. Okay. Remember Rizal, if someone want to give you money, take it right now. Don't wait for another 1 year or 10 years. Okay?
Boleh, sir.
Okay. That is principle number 1. Money is more valuable today than later. That is the first one, the first principle. The second principle, all that counts is the difference among alternative. Okay, what does it mean? It means an economic decision should be based on the differences among alternatives considered. All that is common is irrelevant to the decision. Okay, this is very fancy terms which I take from the books, but in simple English it means that whenever you have alternative, okay, you have several option, you need to evaluate each of the alternative or each of the option, so that whenever you perform the engineering economics, you will say that, okay, we go for project B rather than project A, C, or D, because project B will give us the most profit. Okay. I hope this one is clear. Principle number 3, marginal revenue must exceed marginal cost. Okay. You have the term marginal, marginal. You have the term revenue, you have the term cost. Okay, revenue is what meant by revenue is something that you gain, something that you earn. Okay, cost of course lah, this is something that you need to spend. So it says over here, even though you gain just a small amount, that is still important. And okay, so you need to make sure the revenue is greater than the cost. Because if that is the case, means that you are making profit. Okay, the terms over here, marginal revenue must exceed marginal cost. Even though your revenue is small and your cost is small, it doesn't mean that you need to, forgo just forgo the statement. It means that even though your revenue is small, the revenue must exceed the cost. So in that case, you still in a winning position. Okay, of course you win small lah, you win small, but at least you win. Okay, and then later on we have principle number 4. Additional risk is not taken without expected additional return. Okay, for delaying consumption, investors demand a minimum returns that must be greater than the anticipated rate of inflation or any perceived risk. Okay, again, this is a term that I take from book. Okay, of course, we are not from the economics faculty or economics department. Just to make it simple, in simple English, it says that if you take any risk, make sure you have something in return, even though it is a small risk. Okay, you shouldn't take any risk if you don't know what is the return. Okay. Is it clear for everyone? So basically, these 4 principles, of course, this is written in the book, but this is something very logical. This is something very logical that everyone should know. Okay, even though this is not written in the book, you should know this 4 principle. Okay, because this is something that we experience every day, except for principle number 1 lah. Because this one pun tadi, some of you got confused. Okay, but now you know. If someone want to give you money, take it right now. Don't wait for 1 year or a few years later, because the value of the money will decrease. Okay, so far so good. So far so good. Okay, good. Okay. Next important terms that we need to learn in engineering economics is what they call as interest. Okay, interest. What do you understand by interest? Can someone give me some feedback? What is interest? Harold, any feedback? Sorry, Harold, Mifzal, and Alicia. I know only 3% because you are my FFB student, so you will ask more. What is interest? I believe this term you have heard it long time ago. Okay, let me explain. Interest is what you pay the bank for your car loan or your unpaid credit card balance. Okay, because normally when you make some loan, for example, they will impose, okay, the interest rate is 2%. Okay, if let's say you take the loan for 10 years, then accumulatively around 20%. Okay, if you take the loan of 100,000 ringgit, what you need to pay to the bank is 120,000 ringgit, because we have additional 20,000 due to the fact that the bank imposed some interest. Okay. Okay, that is from the bank perspective. What about from your perspective? If let's say you invest some money in bank, okay, you invest. Okay, interest is what the bank pays you for the money in your saving account. If, for example, I have, let's say, okay, let's assume lah, I have 1 million ringgit. Okay, even though I don't have, okay, let's say I have 1 million ringgit. I save this 1 million ringgit in a bank. Okay, the bank says, okay, since you invest in our bank, we are going to give you 5% interest. So 5% interest, 5% interest. So after 1 year, I will see in my bank account 1 million plus 5% of 1 million. Okay, that is also interest. So interest can be from the bank perspective, can be from your own perspective. Okay. Interest is also the return on capital. Okay, this is what we call as capital. This is my capital. Okay, we learn new terms today. Capital, or sometimes in some literature they call it principal. Principal. Okay, this is our first cost. FC, first cost. Okay, sorry for my terrible handwriting. Okay, hold on. Let me arrange my screen so that I can write more properly. Okay. Interest is the return of capital. Okay. This is my capital. This is my interest. Capital is invested money and resources. Okay. For example, if a firm owns the capital and invests in a project, then the project should return that capital plus interest as cost saving or added revenue. Okay. Don't worry if you don't understand the term, because later on when we do our exercises, everything will make pretty much sense. Okay. Let me give you some example. When you borrow from bank, you pay interest. Okay. Of course, you pay interest because you are the one who borrow the money. When you loan money to the bank by depositing it, the bank pays you interest. Okay. This is from your perspective. This is from bank perspective. For example, if $100 is borrowed for a year and $5 in interest is paid at the year's end, then the interest rate is 5%. Why 5%? Because $100 is your capital and this is the return. Okay, this, let me write down. This is capital. This is your return. Okay. Or if you want to calculate the interest rate, then of course, interest rate is return over capital. Okay. Interest rate is a percentage added to amount of money over a specified length of time. Okay, interest added per time unit. Okay, per time unit. The term per time unit, it can be over 1 day, over 1 month, over 1 year, over 1 decade, and many more. Per time unit over the principal. So interest added in this case is $5. The principal is $100. So $5 over $100 multiply to make it as percentage, multiply by 100%, you get 5%. Okay, this is your interest rate, which most of the time we denote as I. Okay, everyone clear? Okay. Let me explain few terms. Okay, and we will see these terms over and over and over and over again. So first, let us define P. P, I put over here, value or amount of money at a time designated as the present time t equal to 0. P stands for, oops, sorry. P stands for present. Present. The present time. And then we also have another term which is F. F stands for the value or amount of money at some future time. So you have the term future. The future value. Future value we denote as F. Okay, so far so good. Don't worry about this chapter because from my experience, I've been teaching this since the first time we introduced this course. Engineering economics is the part where students normally excel. Okay, to be honest, this is the part where you normally excel. Okay, I repeat, P for present, F for future, A. What is A? Series of equal consecutive and of period amount of money. Okay, again, this is the term that we normally see in economics textbook. Okay, in the simple English, it says that this is our annual return. A stands for annual return. Annual return or annual spending. Annual spending. This is something that appear in our cash flow annually. In fact, not really annual lah, but okay, for this course, let's say annual lah. Something that is repeated over time. Okay, something which is repeated over the time. Okay, this is what it means. Okay, again, don't worry if you don't understand, because later on when you do our tutorial, everything makes pretty much sense. Okay, N, we define N. Number of interest period, year, months, or day. Okay, this is what will appear on your cash flow. Sorry, cash flow diagram. AI is denoting the interest period per time period. Percent, it can be percent per year, percent per month, percent per week, and many more. And T is stated time period. Okay, year, months, and day. Okay, why I need to present this terminologies? Because this terminology will appear in your what we call as cash flow diagram. And you will see later on even though we use very fancy, how to say, quite technical terms, but actually cash flow diagram is very simple. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, no questions. Okay, now we're still talking about interest. We have two types of interest: simple interest and compounding interest. Let's start with simple interest. With simple interest, the interest calculated for year 2, year 3, year 4 until year end is based on the initial deposit only. Based on the initial, okay, let me circle this one, initial deposit. Okay, no interest is computed on the accrued interest. The formula is F equal to P plus NI. Okay. Nothing makes pretty much sense over here. Let's look at this table. Once you understand this table, then you understand what is the concept of simple interest. Okay. Now I have 1,000 ringgit. Okay. Time t equal to 0. Time t equal to 0. Let's say this one in bracket annual lah. P is the present. I is the interest. So in this case, the interest is 20%. Oh, this one maybe abang long lah. Along. 20% interest. Okay. So T is the time. So let's say this one is annual lah. Annual. At time t equal to 0, we invest 10%. Sorry, 1,000 ringgit. After 1 year, we see in our bank account, we have 1,200 ringgit. Why we have 1,200 ringgit? Because at the present time, this is the initial value, initial or capital or sometimes we call this one as first cost. First cost FC. Or actually there are many terms. And we also have what we call as principal. So this one principal. Okay, principal, we can name it as principal. We can name it as initial. We can name it as capital or first cost. Okay, don't be confused later on if I use different term, then you suddenly you don't know what is it. So I can name this one after different name. Can be initial, can be capital, first cost, or principal. Okay. Initially, I put 1,000 ringgit. After 1 year, I have 1,200 ringgit. And as we know, the formula for interest is equal to the return over principal or capital. So in this case, the return is 200 ringgit, $200 over capital $1,000. So we have an interest rate of 20%. For the end of year 2, okay, the end of year 2, I will see in my bank account 1,400 ringgit. Why? Because there's additional 200 ringgit. Okay, additional 200 ringgit. And it continues. 3, 200. This one, 1,600. 4, and then 200. Return, and in your bank account, 1,800 ringgit or dollar. And it continues. That is simple interest. Okay, it means that every end of the year, you get the same amount of return. 200, 200, 200, 200, and until you take out all the money from your bank. Okay. End of the year, you will see additional 200. Okay, that is what we call as simple interest. So far so good? Okay. Sekejap tak ada setuju. Okay. The next one is compound interest. Compound interest. Okay. Let me read out the statement. Compound interest is interest paid earned on any previous interest earned. Any previous interest earned, as well as on the principal borrowed on land. The standard assumption is that interest is computed on the current balance. Okay, let me highlight this one or underline this one. Current balance, not the principal. Okay, not the principal, which include accrued interest that has not been paid. This addition of interest to the principal is called compounding. Okay, this is what they call as compounding. So every year, the value compounded. Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, by the way, this is the formula. Okay, this is formula F equal to P. Remember, F is the future. P is the present. I is the interest. And N is the time, the period. Okay, let's say period 1. So I spend the money, I invest some money. Let's say P equal to, just to show off, let's say P is 1 million. P is 1 million. Okay, end of year 1, I have what? What do I have in my bank account? I have the principal plus the return. The return is equal to I times the P, right? So you have the principal plus the interest, the return from the interest. So in this case, we have P plus IP, or You can simplify it as P1 plus I. This is after 1 year. Or after one period. After one period. Let me erase this one. Otherwise it will be too messy on the slide. End of period 1, we will see in our bank account P times I, 1 plus I. Okay, P is the principal plus IP, which is the return. Okay. From the concept of compound interest, I will bring forward this value, to be my principal for year 2. Okay, to be the principal of year 2. So at the beginning of year 2, I have this amount of money in my bank account, but by the end of the period, year 2, for example, the new principal, P2, is equal to P I plus 1 plus what? Okay, this is the principal for year 2 plus the return for year 2. Okay, what is the return for year 2? The return by formula is the principal, which is P into 1 plus I, multiply by I. So in this case, we have in bracket, so I have P in bracket 1 plus I, P in bracket 1 plus I over here. So I can factorize them, 1 plus I, and then another terms is 1 plus I. Because here is 1, here is I. So we have P in bracket 1 plus I, in bracket 1 plus I. So over here we would see P into 1 plus I to the power of 2. Here we have P 1 plus I to the power of 2. Okay, and we repeat exactly the same scenario for year number 3. I will bring forward this value. I will bring forward to year 3, beginning of year 3, and by the end of year 3, we have another 1 plus I, a factor of 1 plus I. So all in all, to make it general, as you can see, this one is power of 1, sorry, P I plus 1 power of 1, Y1, because this is the period 1. For period 2, I have power of 2. Period 3, for, sorry, power of 3 for period 3. And to make it general, you can put it in this way. At the year period N, not END, N, the letter N. At period N, this is the amount that we will see by the end of period N in our bank account. So it will be P N. Okay. I hope you understand the principle of interest. Again, there are two types of interest: simple interest, which depend entirely on the first cost. Okay. And the second one is compound interest. Compound interest is we bring forward whatever money left in our bank account, we bring forward to become our first cost, our new first cost. Okay, I hope I make everyone clear. Okay, I hope that one is clear now. Next one is cash flow. Okay. As usual, I will read out this one and then I will elaborate what is the thing lah. Okay, cash flow. Cash flow statement is a financial report that provides aggregate data regarding all cash inflow in company received as well as all cash outflow during a given quarter. Actually, not given quarter, given period lah. This term is not actually it's not wrong, but not entirely correct lah. During a given period. Okay. We have cash inflow, ongoing operation, and external investment sources. Cash outflow, payment for business activities and investment during a given quarter, given period again. Okay. It includes cash flow from operation. It includes cash flows from operation, investment, and financing. Okay. Whatever written over here, just scrap out. Okay, because these are just technical jargons for those who are learning economics or business. Okay. Cash inflow, you have two. Sorry, cash flow. Inflow, outflow. Inflow is something that you earn. All goes into your pocket. Or account lah. Account. So that is inflow. To make it simple, something that you earn. Or if you want to have more simple English, this is your profit. Okay, I guess I cannot make it more simpler. Okay, inflow is your profit. And then you have outflow. Outflow is something that you need to spend. Okay, this term over here, these are just very, how to say, too much jargon lah. Outflow is something that you need to spend. Okay, or cost. Okay, how can we draw the cash flow? The cash flow is basically a simple line, straight line, horizontal line, and then on the line you will note 0, 1, 2 until n. If let's say the project lifespan is 30 years, so n would be 30 years. Okay, n would be 30 years. So the period is up to you to define. You can define period as 1 day, as 1 week, as 1 month, as 1 year, 1 decade, and many more. That one is up to you to define. But basically, if you're looking at engineer project, of course, we would consider period of, yearly period. So let's say we consider year. So this is present time. This is the year 1, year 2 until year end. So we have two types. The first one is positive cash flow. Positive cash flow, we draw it upwards. A negative cash flow, we draw it downward. Guys, I need 3 minutes. Can we take a break of okay, 5 minutes lah. We take a break of 5 minutes.
Okay, boleh sir.
Okay, 5 minutes ya. Okay, for those who haven't scanned your QR code, please scan right now. Okay, shall we continue? Okay. Okay. That is cash flow. Cash flow, you have upward arrow and downward arrow. Let me put it in this. Yeah. Okay, you have upward arrow. Okay. Hold on. What happened? Okay. Okay, you have upward arrow and downward arrow. Upward normally for positive cash flow and downward for negative cash flow. Positive cash flow is something that you earn, something come into your account or into your pocket. Negative cash flow is something that you need to spend. Okay. That's basically the cash flow. Cash flow is very simple. The cash flow is very simple. But what comes after is a bit technical. Okay, cash flow, as I mentioned earlier, cash inflow, upward, cash outflow, downward. But most of the time, okay, the cash outflow will be downward because this is something that you need to spend or invest. Okay, when you invest, something come out from your pocket. Okay, something that come out from your pocket. So the cash flow will be downward. And then here, for example, year 3, you earn 35,000. Year 4, you need to spend 15,000, maybe for maintenance, maybe for troubleshooting or whatever. Okay, maybe for reparation. Okay, here, year 6, you earn another 80,000. Okay, year 7, you need to spend another 25,000. And year 10, at the end of year 10, okay, normally the last value over here would be the year end of the year. Sorry, how to say? Um, the total period. Okay, here for example, the project lasts for 10 years. The project lasts for 10 years. Okay, that's basically the cash flow. It's very simple. Okay, next one. The cash flow can be different from different perspective. Hold on. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, the cash flow can be different from different perspective. So now, let's say you want to borrow money from bank. Okay, you want to borrow money from bank. Okay. From the borrower point of view, whenever the bank approve your loan, the bank will deposit 1,000 ringgit. Okay, let's say you want to borrow $1,000. So the bank deposit to your account $1,000. This is something that you earn. Okay, this is something that you earn. Every month you need to spend for the loan. Okay, this is the installment. Month number one, $120. Month number two, $120, and it continue. And then let's say you decided to settle down everything. Last year, you pay lump sum $1,120. That is from the borrower's point of view. Now, from the bank perspective or the lender point of view, at month zero, they need to take out the money from the bank and give it to you. This is something that the bank need to spend. So the bank will have negative cash flow of $1,000. Every month, since you pay $120 to the bank receive it. Okay, the bank receive it. The bank view it as what? The bank view it as income. So $120, this one another $120, this one another $120, another $120. And here you want to pay lump sum 1120. This is what you spend. You send it to the bank, and the bank will see it as income. So the thing here is, the cash flow will be different from different perspective. Perspective of borrower, you will see this one. Perspective of lender or the bank, they will see this one. Okay, I hope this one is clear. Okay, if there is clear, actually this one not very difficult to understand lah. To be honest, not very difficult to understand. Because this is not the first time you see money, yeah? So you understand how money works. Okay, let's continue with cash flow. So there are different categories of cash flow. The expenses, the receipt due to the engineering project usually fall into one of the following categories. Okay, cost expenses are drawn as cash outflow, a negative arrow. Outflow, always negative arrow. And receipt or benefits are drawn as cash inflow, positive arrow. Okay, pointing upwards, not downwards. Okay, I would like to explain some of the terminology. Okay, because this terminology, as a project manager, you need to understand all these terminologies. Okay, first one is the first cost. First cost, expense to build or to buy and install. That is what you see in the cash flow at year zero. Okay, we call it as first cost or FC. Okay, this is also cash outflow. Operation and maintenance, O&M. Okay, if next time I use the term O&M, then you know that O&M stands for operations and maintenance. Okay, this one we classify as annual expenses, which often includes electricity, labor, minor repair, etc. Okay, there is operation and maintenance. What you need to spend to maintain the operation. The third terms is the salvage value. Receipt at project termination for sale or transfer of the equipment can be a salvage cost. Okay, salvage cost. Okay, let's say you have a I don't know, maybe a wind turbine, for example. The wind turbine lifespan is around 30 years. Okay, around 30 years. So you operate the turbine for 30 years, And by the end of year 30, this is the wind turbine. Inside the wind turbine, you have alternator, you have generator, you have some microcontroller, what else? You have some gearing system and so on. Those things, of course, you cannot totally demolish because those things are some of them are still good, and they can be, you know, salvaged or separated, dismantled, and you can sell those components. Okay. The profit of selling those components is what you call as salvage, a salvage. Okay, a salvage. For example, the blade, this blade, for example, this blade you can recycle from the recycling money that is considered as salvage. Okay, I hope this one is clear. And then the next one is revenue. Annual receipt due to sale of product or services. Revenue is your income lah. Okay, income from the project. And then you have the term overhaul. Major capital expenditure that occurs during asset's life. Overhaul, how can I explain overhaul? Overhaul is you do major reparation. That is overhaul. And then we also have prepaid expenses, annual expenses such as lease and insurance payment that must be paid in advance. Okay, okay. But basically just insurance and rental and so on. If we say again, for example, I give you this example for wind turbine. The wind turbine, you place the wind turbine at someone's place. So every year you need to pay for the rent. Okay, that is lease lah. This one basically rental fee. Rental fee. Okay, again, yeah, we are still talking about cash flow. Year zero, initial cost investment or FC, first cost. And then you have the annuity. Okay, this is very important. You have the term annuity. It's quite generalized. The term annuity is quite generalized as if something happens annually. But in this case, the term annuity is something that keep repeating at the same, how to say, magnitude over the lifespan of the project. Okay, here, for example, annuity and annuity always start from year one. Okay, this is something that really important for you to understand. Annuity starts from year one until year 7, until the year end. Okay, that's annuity. Okay, let me put a note over here. Some value that repeats at the same magnitude over the period of the project. Okay, over the period of the project. By the way, I just want to confirm, everyone see my slide?
Yes, sir. Boleh nampak.
What do you see? Because actually, I have two screens. One screen is showing different slide and the other screen showing different slide.
Right now, nampak yang cash flow annuity, sir.
Okay, good. Okay. Okay, that is annuity. Okay, you guys need to understand the term annuity. Yeah, you need to understand the term annuity. Annuity is something that repeat itself at the same magnitude over the lifespan of the project, over the period of the project. That is annuity. And then sometimes we might also have something which is not the same magnitude. Okay, this one really depends on the real situation lah. Here, maintenance and operation. Okay, year one, you need to spend some cost for maintenance or operational cost. Year two, different value. Year three, maybe different value. That one is totally depend on how you perceive the project. Okay, and basically how you perceive the project is based on your previous experience. It's based on your previous experience. You might expect, okay, for this project, year 1, I expect we need to spend this much of money. Year 2, I expect this one. This is based on your expectation. Okay, entirely based on your expectation. Okay. Okay, let me bring you to one example. Okay, example, a company is considering the purchase of a piece of heavy equipment. So we have a heavy equipment. The cash flow diagram for the following anticipated cash flow. The first cost, okay, of course, the first cost is something downward, okay, because this is something that you need to spend, okay. Operating and maintenance cost, 30,000 per year. OM, operation and maintenance, 30,000 per year. So every year you need to spend $30,000. Overhaul cost, $35,000 in year 3. So this one you have 30,000, and then you have not additional 30,000, 35,000 for overhaul. So you do major reparation by the end of year 3. So here you will see OM plus OH. OM for operation and maintenance, OH for overhaul. So this one is 30,000, overhaul 35,000, total up $65,000. Okay, and then salvage value. Salvage value only happens at year end. Okay, after 5 years, okay, the machine you say, okay, I need to replace new machine, and the old machine, I'm not going to really dismantle it and then throw it in the rubbish. There's still some value, and I'm going to resell this one as a second-hand machine. Okay, you sell a second-hand machine, you sell it for $40,000. That is as your salvage value. Salvage value always happen at the end of the year, end of the period. Okay, so in this case, what would be our annuity? What would be our annuity? Remember, annuity is something that keeps on repeating over the lifespan of the project at the same magnitude. So here we can see something very much in common. Year 1, you have this. Year 2, you have this. Year 3, year 4, year 5. So this value keeps at the same magnitude, and this is our annuity. In this case, our annuity is operation and maintenance. Everything is okay? You want me to explain or explain?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. This is where it gets a bit more technical. Okay. For the first 16 slide, that is just general. Okay, a generalization of what is engineering economics. Okay, what are the terms that we use? But now, starting from this slide, we will see some formulas. Okay. Throughout this course, actually, you will be asked about compound interest factor. Compound interest factor. Compound interest factor is the thing that you see inside this bracket. Okay, these are what we call as compound interest factor. Okay. Okay. How do we spell out this compound interest factor? Okay, we spell it this way. Okay, first let me just erase everything, and then I will explain. The compound interest factor, F over P. Okay, we don't spell out as F over P. This one F given P. Okay, this one compound interest factor. Compound interest factor F given P of interest rate I% over n years. Okay, this is how we pronounce it, yeah. N years. So this is the compound interest factor F given P, yeah. F given P. So if F given P, the formula is 1 plus I to the power of n. This is, normally we use this if we want to find out what is the future value. We want to find out what is the future value. Okay, let's say, now you spend a first cost, okay, this is the present cost. We want to estimate what would be the future value of this project, You want to find F, what is given to you? Given to you is value of P. So every year there is an interest of 1%. There is an interest of not 1%, I%. The future value happens at year N. At year N. So that's why we pronounce it as compound interest factor F given P for interest rate of 1% over N years. Okay, let me repeat. We want to find out the future value of the project if the project spend around P dollars. Okay, what would be the future value of this project? So this is the formula. Okay, normally the I is given. Okay, let's say the I is I don't know, maybe 4%. 4%. And the project lasts for 10 years, for example. For 10 years. So in this case, the value of F is equal to, okay, let's say P is, okay, just to make it simple, 1 million. 1 million, sorry. F equal to P of F given P of I% for n years. So value of F is equal to the present value, which is 1 million. F given P, okay, just put it as it is. How many percent? 4%. For 10 years. So in this case, 1 million multiplied by, okay, this compound factor is equivalent to this one. Multiply by 1 plus 0.04. Okay, of course, this one percentage, we put it as decimal, so it becomes 0.04 to the power of 10. So in this case, it will be 1 million, 10 to the power of 6, 1.04, power of 10. Okay, I don't have my calculator with me, but you will get some value over here. Is it okay for everyone? Or still not clear? Something is still quite obscure. For this compound interest factor, we want to find F, but we know P. Okay. We know P, we have to find out what is the value of F. Okay, in that case, we use this formula. Okay, let's look at different scenario. Let me clear out this one. Okay, what is the reverse scenario? Reverse scenario is when you have the present value and you want to find out, you have the future value and you want to find out what is the present value. Okay, you want to find out what is the present value. Okay, in that case, done. Let me change my mode to pen mode. Okay. Now we have the future value and we want to find out what is the equivalent present value. Okay. The formula is the compound interest factor is P given F of I% over n years. And the formula is this one. As you can see, this formula, whenever we inverse the P and the F, this one will also get inverse. We also get inverse. And common question from student, is there any trick we can use to find out which compound interest factor we need to use? Either it's compound amount factor or present worth factor. So it depends. It depends on what you have and what you need to find out. Let me make it clear. Because this is your first time looking at this compound interest factor. I know maybe it's still a bit blurry. Okay, you don't know, and even some doesn't even understand the context of this slide. Okay, I totally understand, no problem. I'll give you, I will explain to you. Okay. Common question from student, which one, whether I want to use compound amount factor or present worth factor? As I mentioned earlier, we need to know what do we have and what we need to find out. If you have P, you want to find out F, then in that case, you need to use compound amount factor. Okay. This compound interest factor, which one we need to put, whether compound amount factor or present worth factor, we need to see it as simple arithmetic problem. Simple arithmetic problem. So here, F given P. We write over here F over P. So if you look at it as a simple arithmetic problem, you will see that P and the P simplifies. So you have F, and F. So make sure whatever you have, you put it here, and you need to find out, you need to make sure that the numerator is the same as this one. Is it clear for everyone? Okay, thank you, Rana. Okay. That is the first compound interest factor. The first two, compound amount factor and present worth factor. Don't worry, after this, once we do some exercises, and you will see that it comes very naturally. Number 3 and number 4, compound interest factor is what you call as uniform series compound amount factor and sinking fund factor. Just don't worry about the name. Okay, don't worry about the name. Me too. Actually, I never memorize the name because the name is just name. The way you use it is important. Okay, for uniform series compound amount factor, we have F given A. Okay, remember, F stands for the future. F stands for the future. A stands for the annuity. Remember, annuity is something that happens at the same magnitude over the lifespan of the project. Okay, that is the real definition of annuity. So F given A of interest rate of 1% over period n is given by 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1 over I. Okay, how do we use it? normally we use this uniform series compound amount factor if you want to find out the value of the future. Okay, the value of the future. So in this case, I estimate every year I would make a benefit of this amount. It continues until year end. So I want to lump everything here. I want to find out some sort of some sort of equivalent future value. I want to bring all this value. I want to bring it to the future. What would be the future value of this project? Okay. So in that case, we use the uniform series compound amount factor. Again, don't give how to say, don't care about the name. Don't care about the name. These names are just names. Even I guess even those from those who study economics also, they don't memorize the name. Okay. So in this case, how do we use it? A is something which is given. You want to find out F. So F is equal to A. We treat this one as simple arithmetic problem. So we need to make sure that the compound interest factor that we use is F given A. And don't worry, these formulas will be given for your test assignment. Of course, I don't give for your assignment because I know you will always refer to the slide. Okay, assignment I don't give this formula, but for your test and final exam, this formula will be given. Okay, don't how to say? Don't be afraid of these formulas. Okay, that is the uniform series compound amount factor. F given A. So the next one, sinking fund factor. Sinking fund factor is A given F of 1% I% interest rate for n years. Okay, the formula is this one. As you can see, F over A I% n is equal to 1 over A given F I% n. You can double verify this one. This one and this one, they are inverse of each other. Okay. For this case, we use the sinking fund factor. If you want to find out what is the annual value, knowing the future value. Okay, let's say you expect that the future value would be 10 million. 10 million. The N is, let's say, 30 years. 30 years. So we want to find out an equivalent annuity for this project. Equivalent annuity for this project. So we use this formula. So we get the value of annuity for this project. And so on and so forth. Okay, is it clear? Okay, let me erase. Okay, that is the compound interest factor number 3 and 4. Okay, to be honest, actually, if you really study business and economics, you see more than 6. The one I'm going to share is there are only 6. Only 6. There are 6 compound interest factor. This is the 6 compound interest factor that we will use for our course. Okay. The next one. Compound interest factor number 5 and 6. I always put it as a pair because if you can see, this one involves F and P. Okay, let me erase first. This one involve F and P, F and P. Second one involve F and A, F and A. Just the inverse. Okay, just the formula inverse. And the last one, A and a P, A and a P. Okay. Compound interest factor number 5 and 6 are named as series present worth factor and sinking fund factor. They involve P and A. For the first one, for the fifth one, series present worth factor, if you know what is the annuity, you want to find out what is the present value. Then you will use the series present worth factor. Vice versa, if you know what is the P, the present value, and you want to find out the equivalent annuity, in that case, you will use sinking fund factor. The formulas are given here. One thing that you need to be extra careful is that don't use the wrong formula, because if you use the wrong formula, then it cannot help anymore. Okay. Okay. Let's look at one example. Let's look at one example. Okay. If $1,000 is borrowed and payment of $2,000 are made each year for 9 years, what is the interest rate? Okay, this is some sort of question that I might ask in the test of an exam. Sorry, this one very rare, because normally the interest rate are given. But just for the sake of this course, I give this example now. Okay, I repeat the question. If $10,000 is borrowed and payment of $2,000 are made each year for 9 years, what is the interest rate? So in this case, what do we have? We have the present. You borrow it. So this is the present value. I declare A $2,000. Why? Because by definition, A as annuity is something that occurs every period at the same magnitude. So this one, at every year, you need to pay $2,000. So every year. So in this case, A is $2,000. For how many years? 9 years. You want to find out what is the I. So just to make it simple, out of 6 compound interest factor, which one we need to know? Which one we need to use? In this case, we have P and the A. P and the A. So we would use either series present worth factor or sinking fund factor. So in this case, both are known. So you can use either one, because you want to find out what is the interest rate. So in this case, I use P given A. I use P given A. Okay, I settle this slide, and then we can take maybe 5 to 10 minute break. Is it okay for everyone? Okay. So in this case, we have two possibilities, whether we want to use P given A or A given P. Okay. Randomly, I choose P given A. Okay. So P given A, so the present value, this is known. The annuity, this is also known. Since I use P given A, so the formula is given as this one. Okay, as this one. So the next thing you need to do is just plug in all the numbers. P equal to 10,000, A equal to 2,000, multiply by the compound interest factor. Multiply by the compound interest factor. So in this case, we would have 10,000 equal to 2,000. In bracket 1 plus I of 9 minus 1, I multiplied by 1 plus I to the power of 9. Okay, to be honest, this one you cannot solve. Okay, you cannot solve because it's highly nonlinear. but with the help of, I don't know, maybe MATLAB or any sophisticated software, you would get this answer as I equal to 13.7%. Okay, 13.7%. So it means that the interest rate is 13.7%. So this is a very, very big number. So I believe this one maybe some unauthorized lending authority lah, or alias Along lah. Along lah. So 13.7%. Okay, that is one example. Okay, as promised, we stop here first. We take a break of 10 minutes, and then we 10 minutes 4:13 4:13 we resume our class. Okay, and for those who haven't scanned your attendance, please scan your attendance right now. 4:13 we resume at 4:13. Okay, shall I continue? We have another 7 slides to finish. Okay. So we have gone through one example. So let's take a look at second example. Okay, let's take a look at second example. Okay, this one looks a bit more complex than the previous one. Okay, for this case, hold on, let me move around this thing. Okay, okay. For this case, now you have two company, yeah, maybe one company, but two different project. Two different project. You give these two project to two of your subordinates, so your workers lah. So you are the CEO and you have two project manager. Project manager number one is taking care of this. Okay, this project. This is project manager number one. Project manager number two taking care of this project. Hold on. Okay, this is basically the expectation of the project. Project number one, we expect that okay, we don't put the first cost. Now I only put the cash flow for revenues. So we expect that project number one, after year one, you will get around 100,000 ringgit benefit. After the end of year two, you have another 100,000 K benefit. Year three, year four, and year five, you expect that there will be how to say economic bloom. Okay, economic bloom, where you expect to have 300,000 K for year three, year four, and year five. That is for project one. So now let's look at project two. So these two person, they are competing. They're competing. So project number two, we expect that year one, we get some amount. Okay, we don't know what is the value of C. Same goes for year two, year four, and year five. But we expect that for year three, at the end of year three, there will be some trouble. Okay, there will be some trouble where we don't get any revenue. So the thing is now, for project manager number two, he wants to find out what is the value of C that makes these two projects equivalent. Okay? That makes these two projects equivalent. Okay. Our only objective is to find what is the value of C. Okay, that is our purpose. Huh? Okay, find the value of C in saving, which gives equivalent present worth value with interest of 12%. Do you have an idea how do we go about this problem? Anyone have any idea? Okay, I give you one trick. If you start, first you need to find out what are we looking for and what is given. What is given? Okay. Let me record. We have future value, present value, annual value. What is given? Is it future value? Anyone? Is it future value? Right. Is there anyone there? Is it future value? Everyone goes for future value. No.
Why is it future value, sir?
Sorry?
Why is it future value?
Okay, the answer is incorrect. Future value only happens at year end. Here. Definitely not future value. What about P? Is it something that you want to find out or something which is given? This is what we want to find out. Because why? Find the C in saving which give equivalent present worth value. The present. This is what we need to find out. Okay. P is the term or the amount that we need to find out. A is given or not? Okay, I know that this question is a bit tricky. In fact, this is last 2 years final exam. Last 2 years final exam. Is A given? Okay, how do you define annuity A? Annuity A is something that keeps on repeating at the same magnitude. Can we define this one as annuity? Theoretically, not. Because year 1, 100,000, year 2, 100,000, year 3, 300,000, 4 and 5, 300,000. So in theory, we cannot declare that one as annuity. What about project 2? Project 2, year 1, yes, we have this. Year 2, we have this. Year 3, we have this. We have 0. 4, we have this. 5, we have this. Again, we cannot declare this value as our annuity. In theory. Okay, in theory. But in practical, yes, we can subdivide. This one as one lifetime, this one as one lifetime. Same goes here. This one as one lifetime, this one as one lifetime. So in that case, for this region over here, this one can be considered as annuity. This one can be considered as annuity. Same goes for project number 2. This one is our annuity. This one is our annuity. Because if we don't do it this way, we cannot answer this problem. Because to answer this problem, we need to have at least P and A, or P and F, or F and A. We need to have these two amounts. Okay, otherwise we cannot proceed with the compound interest factor. Clear? Okay. Let me erase this one. Let me erase this one and start our analysis. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to consider this part as one lifetime. Okay, this is our A. We want to find out the present worth value, the P. Okay, what is the P? So I want to bring this one, this value, to a present equivalent present value. Okay, how can we do that? We have A, we want to find out P. So P is equal to A, P given A of 12% over 5 years. Okay, this is what we need. Sorry, over 2 years, because here it ends at year 2. Okay, over 2 years. There we go. P over A, 12%, 2 years. What is the value of A? 100,000 ringgit. This is project A, for project A. So this value over here represent here, the present value. So far, okay? Can you follow? I believe you can follow. Okay, but that one is only a portion of it. Only a portion, because this portion over here, we haven't take it off yet. Okay, let me erase. Let me erase. So this one, this is an annuity, annuity. I want to bring this annuity. I want to find an equivalent present value for this annuity. So again, we are going to use the formula P equal to A over P of 12%. How many years? If we consider this part only, there will be 1, 2, 3. 3 years. So we have A, which is equal to 300k. We use, hold on. Oh, sorry. This one P over A. Remember, we consider this one as a simple arithmetic problem. So if we have A over here, this one need to be A. So P given A. So P given A, 12%, 3 years. So basically, what we calculate over here, we try to find out the present value. But the present value is not here. The present value, I repeat, is not over here. The present value will be over here. Because for this region, for this part over here, this one we consider as annuity, and annuity happens at year 1. So the year 0 is basically over here. So we have this value equal to 300 P. Oh, I cannot use my stylus key. Yeah. P over A, 12%, 3 years, which is here. And this whole thing represent, if you wish, you can name it as P prime, present prime. It's not the real present value, but the how to say, assimilated present value. Can you follow me? Please let me know, because if you don't understand, the next one will be quite tough. If you, okay, Hera, okay, the rest, can you follow or not? Okay, Adriana, okay. Okay, so I guess it's clear lah. Okay, so let me clear up this one. You don't worry, because we have the recording after this. So later on you can rewatch and pause whenever you think is necessary. Yeah. So we have the P prime. The P prime is located over here. This is the P prime. This P prime, from this point of view, is basically the future. Okay, can you get the idea? This P prime, from this point of view, from this guy point of view, is basically the future. Future after 2 years. Okay, from this point of view, this one is the present. But from this point of view, this one is the future. Do you get my point? Everyone, if you need me to repeat, I have no problem repeating. Okay.
Can you repeat, sir? I don't understand the part.
Which part? Okay, I repeat the whole thing. Okay. Let me clear off everything. Okay, I don't want to touch this part anymore. I believe this part is clear for everyone. I want to touch only this part. Okay. Okay. I start with this part. Here I use 300 representing this value. P over A, P given A, 12% because 12% is the interest rate. I use 3 years because here 1, 2, 3. This value I consider as annuity. Why I consider as annuity? Because those value repeat itself at same magnitude for the whole 3 years. Okay, I do it slowly, don't worry. So this is